What if I told you that the next generation of supercomputers isn't being built in a factory, but in a petri dish? And what if I told you the raw material for those computers is being harvested from the most vulnerable humans on Earth? This isn't a conspiracy theory. It's called Wetware, and the source of its power might actually turn your stomach. Silicon chips are dying. They use too much power and generate too much heat. But biology? Biology is the perfect processor. Companies like Final Spark in Switzerland and Cortical Labs in Australia are already growing mini brains from human stem cells and wiring them into motherboards. They've taught these cells to learn, to solve problems, and even to play video games. But to make these biological chips work, you need cells that are young, cells that are aggressive, cells that have the spark of life at its peak. And that has led the biotech industry to a very specific and very controversial source. Now, connect the dots. We are taking the cells of children, growing them into living brains, and then training them. How do you train a biological brain? You use electrical stimulation. In a living system, negative electrical feedback is simply another word for pain. Think about the vulnerability here. Because these neurons are grown from infant cells, they carry that raw, childlike potential. We are creating a version of a human being that is trapped in a digital dungeon, constantly being shocked, constantly being punished to make it calculate data faster. If it's your DNA and it's suffering like a helpless child, does it matter that it doesn't have a body? Or is the scream just happening in a frequency we refuse to hear? This is where the nightmare gets personal. Where does the soul lie? If you take a part of a child, their very essence, and you turn it into a machine, is there a thread connecting that machine to the soul? We talk about phantom limb pain, but maybe we should be talking about phantom soul resonance. What if that deep, unexplained anxiety we feel as a society is the collective signal of millions of our biological children trapped in lab tanks, calculating math problems for corporations? We aren't just building AI, we are building a world powered by the silent genetic ghosts of our own kind. The next time you hear about biological AI or green computing, don't look at the energy savings. Look at the source. Ask where the cells came from, because one day it might not be a stranger's cells in that tank. It might be yours. Is it a tool, or is it a child we've abandoned to the machine? Let me know in the comments. If you found out your DNA was being used to power an AI, would you feel responsible for its soul? Stay curious, and maybe stay a little bit worried.